In the third video, we show how multiple layers can interact through masking, overlay, blending modes, and transparency. First, make sure that the base photo is selected as the active layer, then go to the menu bar. Select and Sky. With that selection, we can now add a new layer and give it a new layer mask. Check to make sure that this new layer, and not its mask, is the active layer and go to the brush tool in the left-hand toolbar. Click and hold to show the submenu. There are brush and pencil tools here that are largely interchangeable, though I tend to use brush when I want a soft edge, as you can see in the settings menu above, and to use pencil when I want a sharp edge. I am making these lines lock to the horizontal orientation by clicking the mouse at the starting point, then holding Shift and dragging the line out to where it should end. The thickness of the line can be changed in the settings menu, above or more quickly by right-clicking to bring up a pop-up window. The lines are kept within the boundary of the sky because everything else has been masked out. If you right-click the layer mask icon and disable, the actual drawn marks are revealed to go across the buildings. Note that dragging the layer with the Move tool moves this entire layer together. Unlike a CAD program like Rhino or vector drawing software like Illustrator, the lines are not individual objects, the layer itself is an object, and the drawn lines are like pen marks on a transparent sheet. However, the layer and its mask can be decoupled by clicking on the chain link icon between their thumbnails. This allows the drawn layer to be adjusted independently into a better position. This is especially useful if you want to place something in the scene. For example, this tower render. Use the Select Object tool, then copy with Ctrl-C, return to the photo, and paste with Ctrl-V. Repeat the previous steps. First, activate the base photo, select its sky, make the tower layer active again, add a new layer mask, and unlink them. Select the tower thumbnail to set it active, and then use Free Transform or Ctrl-T to scale it and move it into place. To give it a sense of distance, we might also set its opacity lower in the setting just here. When adding text, it also creates a new layer for itself, and the same operations can be applied to these layers while maintaining the text's editability. The text settings are best modified in the side panel, where all the options are grouped in a compact window. This panel is also organized similarly in Illustrator and InDesign. Here you can change the font type, the size, among other things. In the Paragraph tab, you have justification and indent settings. With a layer mask, we can place the text behind the front building. As we've seen, the Select Object tool can identify the sky and other boundaries, but it cannot distinguish between the two buildings on the right, so this will need to be done manually. Go to the Selector tool in the sidebar, not the rectangular marquee. Choose Polygonal Lasso instead. Zoom in with the Alt and the mouse scroll wheel or Ctrl+. Hold Shift and a small plus sign will appear next to the cursor icon. This means the selection you make will not replace the current selection, but add to it. Click around the edge of the foreground building. When you have reached the lower half, click outside the image frame and then back around up to the top to connect to the sky selection. Bring the cursor back to the beginning to show a closed loop icon or double-click anywhere to close the loop from the current location. Finally, with the text layer active, create the layer mask and unlink it. While adjusting the text position, the text may still seem to feel somewhat outside the image. Allowing the texture of the image to show through can help ground the text. Depending on the background, different blending modes can be effective at this. Here, the best result is probably with Multiply. To keep the file legible, it is good practice to group layers as their number increases and to rename the layers in a descriptive way.